Hi everyone, hope you all are good. So we are here for grade 4 math. So sorry for the late session because my laptop is not working properly, so I just restarted everything, and so that's why it took some time. So let's just start with the chapter. We're going to start with the chapter fraction, equivalence and ordering. The lessons we're going to cover today are fractions with denominators of 100, 10, 100 and 1000, patterns of equivalent fractions, write fractions in lowest terms, and compare fractions with like numerator or denominators using model. So you can find all these lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address, and password is provided by the administrator. So let's just start with the first lesson, that is on fraction, chapter fraction, equivalence and ordering. So here I'm on grade 4 maths. The chapter is fraction, equivalence and ordering. So let's just start with the lesson, that is fractions with denominators of 10, 100 and 1000. So that means if you have a fraction that have the denominator 10, 100 and 1000, to how do you solve them? Let's just look at the first example. Write the equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100, right? So you are given a fraction 3 over 10, right? So you have to write down a fraction with 100. So it is 3 over 10. Okay, you are given 3 over 10. You have to write down a fraction that have the equivalent fraction that have the denominator 100, right? So just look at this one, 10 and 100. So 10 times 10 is 100, right? So you have to multiply the same thing, the numerator, right? So 3 times 10 is 30. That means 3 over 10 is equivalent to 3 over 100. 30 over 100, they are two equivalent fractions, right? Okay, just look at the other example. Write an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So you have to write down the equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So you have 9 over 10, that equals the missing number divided by 100, right? So just look at here, you have 10. 10 times what number makes 100? 10 times 10 makes 100. So you have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 100. 10 times 9 is 90 and 10 times 10 is 100. So you can see the equivalent fraction of 9 over 10 is 90 over 100. What you did, you simply multiplied numerator and denominator by the same number 10, right? So they are the equivalent fractions. Let's just start with the practice questions. Write the equivalent fractions with a denominator of 100. So you have to write down an equivalent fraction of 2 by 10 that has the denominator 100. So you have 2 over 10, and you have to write down another equivalent fraction that has the denominator 100. So you can see here the denominator is 10, right? So 10 times what number makes 100? 10 times 10 makes 100, right? So you have to multiply the numerator and denominator of the fraction is by 10, right? So 10 times 2 is 20, and 10 times 1, 10 is 100, right? So that means 2 over 10 and 20 over 10 are the equivalent fractions. So basically, what is the equivalent fraction? A fraction with if you multiply a fraction with same number in numerator and denominator, the fraction you get after multiplication is equivalent to the fraction, right? So you multiplied numerator and denominator by 10, so you got 20 by 100. So the original fraction is 2 by 10, so 2 by 10 and 20 by 100 are the equivalent fractions, right? Okay, the next one is, that is 20 over 100. Write the equivalent fraction. Write the equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So it is 3 over 10. You have to write down the equivalent fraction that has the denominator 100. 3 over 10 equals the missing number over 100, right? So you can see here you have denominator 10. You have to make it 100. So 10 times what number makes 100? 10 times 10 makes 100, right? So you have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. Very good. It would be 30 over 100. So the correct option is 30. Very good. The equivalent fraction is 30 over 100. It's okay if you already know the answers, you can just write down the answers. Okay, write the equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So which is the equivalent fraction? 4 over 10. 4 over 10 equals the missing number divided by 100, right? So you have to write down the equivalent fraction. So just look at here, you have 10. 10 times 1 is 10 times what number is 100? 10 times 10 is 100. So you have to multiply numerator and denominator both by 10. So it would be 10 times 4 is 40 and 10 times 10 is 100. So the equivalent fraction is 40 over 100, right? The correct option is 40 over 100. Very good. Okay, the next one is write the equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So you have to write down the equivalent fraction, right? So it is 5 over 10 equals, okay, 5 over 10 equals the missing number over 100, right? So how do you write? So you can see here 10 times what number is 100? 10 times 10 is 100, right? So you have to multiply this fraction by 10. Fraction means both numerator and denominator, right? So 10 times 5 is 50 over 100. So the equivalent fraction is 50 over 100, right? Okay, the next one is write an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. So you have to write down the equivalent fraction. 8 by 10 equals missing number over 100, right? So how do you find the missing number? You can see here the denominator is 10 and you have 100. So they are in fractions. You have to make the denominator 100. So how do you make 10 times? 10 makes 100. So you have to multiply it by the 10. So 10 times 8 is 80 and 10 times 10 is 100. So the correct option is 80 over 100, right? So the correct option is 80. Okay, you can complete the test by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, so the next lesson is patterns of equivalent fractions. Let's just start with the next lesson. Okay, type the missing number to complete the equivalent fraction. So you are given the equivalent fractions. Some of the values are missing. You have to calculate the missing value. So it is 1 over 2 equals 2 over 4. Okay, first you have to understand. Let's just see 1 over 2. What number you are multiplying? Okay, it is 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 3 over. The other one is missing. 4 over 8, 5 over 10, 6 by 12. So just start with 1 by 2, right? The next one is 2 over 4. 1 times what number is 2? 1 times 2 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4, right? Then for the next one, here you have 3. That means 1 times 3 is 3. So here you multiply this fraction by 3, right? So it would be 1 times 3 is 3 and 2 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So that here the missing one is 6. Okay, the next one is type the missing number to complete the equivalent fraction. Okay, you're given 1 over 10, right? So 1 times 2 is 2 and 10 times 2 is 20. For this one, you can see here you have 30. So 10 times what number is 30? 10 times 3 is 30. That means you have to multiply this fraction by 3, right? So 10 times 3 is 30 and 1 times 3 is 3. So it would be 3 over 30. The next one is type the missing number to complete the equivalent fraction. So you have 1 over 3, 2 over 6. You can see here you have 3 and here you have 15. So 3 times what number is 15? 3 times 5 is 15, right? That means you have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 5. So it would be 1 times 5 is 5. So the missing number is 5, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice question. You just have to look for the given numerator and denominator, right? Let me just start with the test. Okay, type the missing number to complete the equivalent fraction. Okay, just look at the first fraction, 1 over 4, and here you have the missing number over 24. So 4 times what number is 24? 4 times 6 is 24, right? That means you multiplied this fraction by 6. So when you multiplying fractions mean both numerator and denominator. So 4 times 6 is 24 and 1 times 6 is 6. So the missing number is 6. So the correct option is 6. Okay, type the missing number to complete the equivalent fraction. So which is the correct option? Here you have the first one is 1 over 7, right? Just look at the missing one. Here you have 5. 1 times what number is 5? 1 times 5 is 5, right? That means you have to multiply this fraction by 5. So 1 times 5 is 5 and 7 times 5 is 35. So it would be 35. 43. How? 7 times what number is 43? No number. It is 35. 7 times 5 is 35. So the correct option is 35. The next one is type the missing number to complete the equivalent fractions, right? So you can see the first fraction is 1 over 5, and just look at the one you have the missing. And here you have 3 over missing number, right? So 1 times what number is 3? 1 times 3 is 3, right? That means you have to multiply this fraction by 3. So just multiply 1 times 3 and 5 times 3. So 1 times 3 is 3 and 5 times 3 is 15. So that means the missing value is 15, right? So the correct option is 15. Okay, type the missing number to complete the equivalent fraction. So which is the correct option? Which number is missing? Here you can see the first one is 1 over 10, right? And just look at this one. 10 times what number is 30? Denominator is 30. 10 times what number is 30? 10 times 3 is 30. That means you have to multiply the fraction by 3, so it would be 3 times 1 is 3 and 3 times 10 is 30. So that means the missing number is 3. So that means the missing number is 3, right? Okay, type the missing number to complete the equivalent fraction. So here you have 1 over 9 and the missing one is 4 over. So 1 times what number is 4? 1 times 4 is 4 and 9 times 4 is 36. So it would be 4 over 36. So that means the missing number is 36, right? Yes, you have to multiply it by the 4. So the missing number is 36. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So let me just start with the next lesson. So if you need more help with the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available. From Monday to Friday, 5 to 9, right? Okay, the next one is write fractions in lowest terms. So how do you write the fractions in the lowest term? Write 1/6 in the lowest term, right? You have to find the largest number that divide both numerator and denominator, right? So which is the largest number that can divide both 6 and 12? You have to, the greatest number is 6. So you have to divide both numerator and denominator by 6. You have to find the largest number. Like you can see here, you have 6 over 12. So just find the largest number that can divide both, that is 6. Just divide them by 6. 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 times 2 is 12. That means 6 over 12 is, when you write it in the simplest form, it would be 1 over 2, right? Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, write 6 by 12 in lowest terms. So how do you write the fractions in lowest terms? You have to find the largest factor of both the numbers, right? So just divide them by the largest factor and it would be 1 over 2. The correct option is 1 over 2. Okay, the next one is write 5 by 7 in the lowest term. Okay, so here you have 5 over 7. Just think of the largest number that can divide both numerator and denominator. You don't have any number that can divide both 5 and 7 other than 1, right? So that means this is all already in the simplest form, right? So the correct option is 5 over 7. Okay, the next one is write 4 by 6 in the lowest term. Okay, so which is the largest number that can divide both 4 and 6? Which is the largest number? It is 2. So just divide both of numerator and denominator by 2. So 2 times what number is 4? 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 3 is 6. So the correct option is 2 over 3, right? So it is 6. Now you have to find the largest number that can divide both numerator and denominator, would be 2 over 3. Okay, write 8 over 12 in lowest term. Okay, 8 over 10. So just think of the largest number that can divide both 8 and 10. 8 and 12, I think. 8 over 12. Yes, so which is the largest number? Yes, you can divide them by 2. 4. 4 is the largest number that can divide both. 4 times 2 is 8 and 4 times 3 is 12. So that means no. 5. 8 and 12 can be divisible by 5. How? 8 and 12 can be divisible by 4. So it will be 2 over 3. The correct option is 2 over 3. Write 6 by 9 in the lowest term. Okay, you have to write down 6 over 9 in the lowest term. So which is the greatest number that can divide both 6 and 9? The greatest number, very good. That means it is 3. So it would be 3 times 2 is 6 and 3 times 3 is 9. Yes, it is 3. So the lowest form is 2 over 3, right? Lowest form means they cannot be further divisible by any common number, right? Okay, the next one is write 2 by 6 in lowest terms. So how do you write 2 by 6? Okay, so 2 over 6 can be divisible by, which is the largest number that can divide 2 by 6? It is 2. So just divide them by 2. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6. It is 1 over 3. Do not guess the answers. Please just use your notebook and you can write down the answers. It would be 1 over 3. They are very easy. You just have to think which is the largest number, right? You can take your time, think, and then answer. So it would be 1 over 3. Okay, write 4 by 7 in the lowest term. So which is the correct option? 4 over 7. They are already in the lowest term, right? You don't have any common number that can divide both numerator and denominator. So the correct option is 4 by 7, right? They are already in the lowest form. So the correct option is 4 over 7. Okay, the next one is write 9 by 10 in lowest form, lowest term. What happened? 9 over 10. So which is the common number that can divide both numerator and denominator? Yes, they are already. No, 2 by 5. How? 3 times 3 is 9, but 3 is not, 10 is not divisible by 5. They are already in the lowest term. You don't have any common number that can divide both numerator and denominator. Just think and then answer. 9 and 10. Do you have 9 and 10 in a table? No, the correct option is 9 over 10. They are already in the lowest form. Okay, the next one is write 3 by 6 in lowest term. So you have to do 3 over 6. So which is the common number that can divide both numerator and denominator? The largest common number is 3. It's okay. I have already done this lesson earlier. You can just search channel and do as many practice questions as you can, right? So 3 divided by 3 is 1 and 3 divided by 6 is 2. You can see I divided them by the same number, right? So it would be 1 over 2. So the correct option is 1 over 2. It's okay. You just have to search the channel, do as many practice questions as you can. It is easy. You just have to think and then answer. Write 2 by 4 in lowest term. So which is the correct option? 2 by 4. How do you write in lowest form? Which is the common number that can divide both numerator and denominator? Yes, you can divide them by 2, right? So 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. So it is 1 over 2. The correct option is, the lowest form is 1 over 2. Write 1 by 2 in the lowest term. So which is the correct option? So the correct option is very good, 1 over 2. They are already in the lowest form. Okay, write the lowest form. Write 9 by 10 in lowest terms. So which is the correct option? Which is the common number that can divide both numerator and denominator? 9 over 12. You can divide them by 3. The largest number that can divide both 9 by 12 is 3. So which is the correct option? Yes, it is 3 over 4. Very good. So you divided both numerator and denominator by 3, right? 3 is the common number that can divide both 9 and 12. Okay, we are done with the lesson. So you have to do lots of practice questions for this lesson, right? This is not difficult. This is very easy, but you have to do practice questions, think and then answer, right? Okay. So we're working on grade 4 math. The lesson we have started with is fractions, equivalence, and ordering. The lessons we have covered today are fractions with denominator of 10, 100, and 1000, patterns of equivalent fractions, and right fractions in lowest terms. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the test questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9, right? So if you have any question, you can please here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So please just write down the questions. Okay, then you can do the all the practice questions on your own. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. So that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.